Our video is about cardiovascular disease around the world. So Monica, what is cardiovascular disease?
Well, Fiona, cardiovascular diseases are a group of diseases that affect the heart and blood vessels.
Cardiovascular diseases include heart attack and stroke, which involve a lack of blood flow to the heart or brain, rheumatic heart disease, which is a complication of rheumatic fever, vascular disease, which is damage to or disease of the blood vessels, and congenital heart disease, which is a malformation of the heart present at birth.
Wow, who would have thought there's so many different types of cardiovascular disease? There's also several different risk factors too, such as unhealthy diet, like foods high in fat and sodium, alcohol and tobacco use, and even physical inactivity.
Speaking of risk factors, it's also really important to consider the social determinants of health here. So for example, if someone has lower socioeconomic status, it might be more difficult for them to access good health care or purchase nutritious food.
Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death worldwide, accounting for 31% of all deaths. Also, 17.7 million deaths each year are due to cardiovascular disease, and 3/4 of cardiovascular disease deaths take place in low and middle income countries. Well, now that we know more about cardiovascular disease, let's look at it worldwide.
Cool. So what does this map mean?
Great question. The darker red the country is, the higher number of deaths there are due to cardiovascular disease.
Wow, so why are there differences, both in rates of CVD and in rates of death from CVD in different countries?
Well, a lot of it has to do with access to healthcare. So like I mentioned, a lot of deaths due to CVD occur in lower income countries. This might be due to underdeveloped healthcare systems and difficulty accessing preventative care.
Oh, that makes sense. Another factor to consider would be differences in diet and lifestyle behaviors between different countries. So, for example, some diets are higher in salt than others, while some diets might be higher in healthy fats, like polyunsaturated fats, that can reduce inflammation and cardiovascular disease risk. Wow, so cardiovascular disease is really prevalent. But on the bright side, at least there are a lot of preventative measures that can be taken.
On an individual level, we can modify our diet by eating less fat and salt and more fruits and vegetables. We can also reduce our smoking and alcohol intake, as well as exercise more.
So from a public policy standpoint, governments should work to implement tobacco control policies and to make healthy food options more accessible. So for example, by reducing costs or including healthy lunch programs in schools. Physical activity is also really important. So we can promote physical activity through infrastructure like adding bike trails or through increasing physical education in schools. Lastly, equitable access to healthcare is really important. So we should always try to reduce the barriers that people might face due to cost or location of healthcare facilities.
Well, it was great talking with you, Fiona.
Yeah, you too, Monica.
And I hope everyone who is watching this video was able to take something away from it. And if you are interested in finding more about cardiovascular disease, to please check out this website.